Hello, nurses! Rob Yakko Paulson here, and you're watching Unconventional on Stan Lee's
World of Heroes.
Yeah, Stan Lee's World of Heroes. Somebody said on one of the websites that I've voiced, I don't know, 250 or 300 characters. Really, I've had so many shows that I could look back on, and frankly, any actor would be fortunate to have worked on Ninja Turtles. But to be able to be, you know, a veteran of Turtles, Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain, Jimmy Neutron, Turtles Again, The Tick, The Mask, Mighty Max, I mean, I'm really incredibly fortunate.
I am actually a huge Donatello fan.
You don't look that big. You look in a normal size. Oh, but you mean I see what you're saying.
In theory, I'm a huge Donatello fan.
Well, you know, I get to be Donnie on the new show.
I know, and I'm really excited about that.
Thank you.
He was actually one of the big influences on me when it came to superheroes and animation when I was younger.
It's great that Barry Gordon was the voice of Donatello, and I just saw him 2 weeks ago. I do a podcast every week, and we did a live podcast with all of the Ninja Turtles on it. Yeah, I mean, Turtles, when we all auditioned for it back in the late 80s, I don't think any of us had any idea that it was going to be, you know, this iconic show that we're talking about 25 years later. Oh, look, you're smiling. That's a good sign. Oh, no, she's really smiling. That's a really good sign. Because if you don't, oh, and you're all smiling. If you don't, oh, one girl's sticking her finger down her throat, which is totally different. Yeah, I was Yakko for a long time and got to say hello, nurse, and, you know, come up to the water tower and not you so much, maybe your assistant, you know, it's more my type. I am old enough to be her grandfather, but apart from that. Animaniacs was spectacular for many reasons, not the least of which were Tress MacNeille, who was Dot, and Jess Harnell, who was Wacko, but the music, I mean, the incredible music we got to do in that show was just over the top. It was an incredible labor of love, and now here I am 15 years later, 17 years later, and people still love Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain, so. You know, I am just an actor, and it's not false modesty, man. I can't draw stick figures. I'm not a writer. I'm an actor and a singer, and the people that I've had the privilege of working with have really allowed me, you know, to be here. The people here have been so lovely to me. I mean, they treat me like a rock star.
In our business, if you get past 27, you're doing really good. The fact that Jim Morrison got to 27 is a miracle. You know, I mean, that seems to be the expiration date, though, for rockers. You know, I mean, there's maybe 20 guys that died at 27 years old. I'm like 64 now, so I way surpassed it.
Is school back in for summer?
It is, and you know what? We tried to write that song and realized nobody was celebrating that. You know, you get schools out, it's the national anthem, and then you go, well, we gotta write another one then. And then we realized kids did not want to celebrate schools back in. But you know where we got the idea for that? I'm watching a Bowery Boys movie, and Muggsy hits Satch over the head with his hat, and he goes, "School's out." He was saying, "Wise up," and I went, "What a cool way to say that." When I was that big, I had suitcases full of comic books because I was one of those kids in Detroit I collected comic books, every kind of comic book you could imagine. And when Spider-Man came along, of course, he was the cool guy. I remember him breaking through a wall one time, and he said something like "break on through," right? The Jim Morrison quote. So I thought that was pretty hip, that he was turned on to the Doors. You know, when the superstars started becoming, you know, a little more like rock stars, it was pretty cool. Lou Reed plays golf. Bob Dylan plays golf. I started playing when I quit drinking, and it was a trade-off. I traded one bad habit for a worse one. And then, now everybody plays. Iggy Pop plays golf. Most of your metal bands play golf. So I started I took an old conventional game and I made it a cool game now. Surprised that Tiger Woods is not a superhero.
Well, I mean,
I can't beat him yet, but of course he can't write a song, so I'm okay.
My kinky voice has kind of gone narv for the day, but this, you know, the sentiment is there.